Okay. Good morning, children. Once again, we are here in online connection teaching, and in the chapter reproduction, we will discuss today about the female reproductive system. As we discussed that human beings are unisexual in nature, either the male or female, and so an evolved system of reproduction working in male and female both, named by male reproductive system, about which we studied yesterday, and the left one is female reproductive system. This female reproductive system lies in female, and after pivotal stage that begins 11 to 13 years of the age in female, reproductive organ become functional. Now there are two types of reproductive organ that constitute a reproductive system. Some are essential reproductive organ, and that are called primary reproductive organ, and other reproductive organs are called secondary reproductive organ or accessory reproductive organ. Primary reproductive organs in male or female reproductive system is meant for production of gamete. So the organ that involved to produce the female gamete in female reproductive system is called primary reproductive organ, and that are also called follicles. As we all discussed yesterday, follicles, after having the pivotal stage, influenced by a hormone of the pituitary gland, and that is called FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. After influencing by the follicle stimulating hormone, the follicles or primary reproductive organ, that is the pair of ovary in female, become active, and it secrete a hormone that is called female reproductive hormone called estrogen. As soon as estrogen is released, several change and preparation for the proper reproduction in the body starts, and that can be seen through secondary sex character or pivotal character. So primary reproductive organ in female reproductive system include pair of ovary. क्या होगा ये? Pair of ovary. Okay, this is the primary reproductive organ. But another part called fallopian tube. Another one is called fallopian tube. Third one is called uterus. Fourth one is cervix, and fifth one is called external genitalia. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 the organs that constitute female reproductive system. What are that? That are the pair of ovary. Next one is fallopian tube. Third one is uterus. Fourth one is called cervix, and fifth one is external genitalia or genital tract in the female, that is known by vagina. Okay. Besides that, in the secondary reproductive organ, breast is there, that is not meant for reproduction but help in suckling the young one after getting birth. Okay, as we are viviparous animal, so childbirth, after the birth, and young one remain helpless and they need parental care, and so for suckling young one, the breast is there that act as mammary gland to nurse the young born child. So now this is your diagram. Now, unlike the male reproductive system, female reproductive system lies inside the abdominal cavity below the in below abdominal cavity in the muscles. This is the dissected part or vertical section of the female reproductive system. This one is called ovary. This is the ovary, pair of ovary. This is a almond-like structure. This ovary is a almond-like structure connected with ligament to the uterine wall. This is the primary reproductive organ in which ovum released by the process called ovulation. Process of releasing ovum is called ovulation. Then ovum is collected by the structure that is called fimbriae. So this is the fimbriae. As soon as ovum is released from here, this ovum is collected by the fimbriae. After the fimbriae, a tubular structure is there, lined with ciliary epithelial inside, called fallopian tube. This is called fallopian tube, or this may also call, or it may known by other name, that is called oviduct. So fallopian tube is known by two names, that is called fallopian tube or oviduct. Duct that carry ovum is called oviduct. Okay. Now in this oviduct, this ovum reaches in particular specific day, हम लोग उसको पढ़ेंगे अभी, and here only it retain in fallopian tube. Ovum reached after the ovulation, it reached here. If in that period when ovum is existing after releasing from the ovary in female, copulation occurs, or if artificially fertilization occurs, if in any way, by the natural way or the artificial way, male gamete or sperm reached there, अगर वो पहुंच जाता है इस तरह से, then fertilization occurs in oviduct. So the center या site at which fertilization in human female reproductive system completed is oviduct. So oviduct में क्या होगा? Fertilization होता है. After fertilization, in oviduct, gradually cell division starts. The cell division occurs in fertilized ovum that form zygote is mitosis, and so 16 to 18 cell stage appear, that is called gastrula or mollura stage. After having the collection of cells up to 16 cell stage, now the embryo reach just settled in the muscular structure, muscular spongy structure, that is called uterus. So this is the uterus in which embryo get nurtured up to 280 days, and after having maturation, when the embryo get converted into fetus completely, then message reach to brain that the fetus that is ready to come out, ready to get birth, should be comes out. And so after the 280 days, under the influence of a hormone secreted by the pituitary gland, that is the oxytocin, a hormone released by pituitary gland. हमने कल बताया आपको कि एक हार्मोन FSH secreted from the pituitary gland that initiate the sexual reproductive development in the male and female. But in female, there is another hormone secreted from the pituitary gland that is related to the birth of child after maturation of the gestation period. The period 280 days period in which the young one or embryo nurtured in the mother's body in the uterus is called gestation period, and after completion of the gestation period childbirth occur, that is called parturition. So childbirth is called parturition, but in parturition a hormone is included, and that is called oxytocin, and this is the hormone that is released from pituitary gland. This hormone is called birth hormone. Why? Because as soon as oxytocin is released in the pituitary glands, it reaches through the blood to uterine wall and it causes providing the reflex contraction and expansion in the wall, uterine wall, and that compels the child to deliver. So the hormone is called birth hormone. This is the oxytocin hormone that brings labor pain before childbirth, and it indicates that the childbirth is about to go, and so we become prepared. तो यहाँ से ये child birth होगा, and this is the genital tract through which child comes out. This is called childbirth or parturition. Clear? अब हम लोग फीमेल, अनलाइक द मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम, फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम को हम लोग दो पार्ट में पढ़ेंगे। एक पार्ट तो हो गया रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन्स दैट इंक्लूड पेयर ऑफ ओवरी दैट हेल्प इन रिलीजिंग ओवम और फीमेल गैमेट. नेक्स्ट वन इज फैलोपियन ट्यूब थ्रू व्हिच egg travels and fertilize. Next, uterus is the structure, spongy sac-like structure in which child growth or embryonic development in during gestation period is completed. Then cervix is the circular elastic pathway that contract and expand through which childbirth occurs. And this is the external genitalia or genital tract vagina that help in that copulation or childbirth. Clear? So this is the reproductive system by which reproduction occurs in human body or human female. But another that we'll learn here is called reproductive cycle. Because there is no such reproductive cycle in male. In male, once the pivotal stage appears in female inside the testis, spermatogenesis continues, and that continues till the death. And so there is no specific cycle working in male for production of male gamete. But as female reproductive system is slightly complex than the male reproductive system, because female or mother required to do two important functions. One important function related to female reproductive system is preparation of the gamete, like the male reproductive system. But the another things that is essential that occurs only in female is the development of the fetus, that is called gestation period. And so up to that period, that is completed in human about 280 days. So this 280 days of gestation is completed in female reproductive system, and so this system is slightly complex than male. One more differences found in female reproductive system than the male is the period in which a mature female, sexually mature female could produce female gamete or ovum. हमने जैसा बताया कि मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम में once the spermatogenesis starts, it continue throughout the life, though their rate may differ. But in female, there is some restriction. There is a period in between that only ovulation could occur. The period at which the first the period in which the female gamete or ovum released, that is, and menstrual cycle starts. So start of menstruation in female is called menarche. That starts with pubertal stage and it ends that the age is about 45 to 50 years of the age. After that, the female individual could fail to release female gamete or ovum. That stage at which the menstrual cycle is ceased or end, that is called menopause. So this is the period between menarche and menopause, the total period in which a female could become, female remain fertile and could produce young one. Though the whole this stage between menarche and menopause is not the proper age for bearing the child, because after 35 years of the age, muscles nature started degenerating. Yeah, muscular degeneration starts in human being, and so in late phase of the reproductive life of the female, after 35 or 40 or 45 or up in 50, though female gamete may produce there, but bearing the child is risky because muscular degeneration lead to miscarriage and mishappening may cause. So childbirth, suitable childbirth is not suggested for late age in the female reproductive life. Okay, the best age between the that is about 21 to 30 or 35 is the best year in which one can bring forth the child, and that is suggested by the surgeons or the biologist. ओके, सो अभी हम लोग रिप्रोडक्ट, अब ये ऑल दिस कंप्लेक्सिटी related to a reproductive cycle in female. So in female we will learn a reproductive cycle. This reproductive cycle is completed in 4 stage. सबसे पहला स्टेज है and that is called the menstrual phase. अब देखो what is this menstrual phase? Unlike the male, in female, gamete formation occurs once in a month. हमने जैसा मेल में बताया कि gamete formation is continued there throughout day and night, but in female, gamete formation occurs once in a month. For that, a cyclic repetition occurs during reproductive phase of the female between menarche to menopause, and the first phase is called menstrual phase. The whole cycle in female reproductive system is completed in about 28 days. ये 28 days का एक cycle है, and this cycle repeats again and again. So the first stage in reproductive cycle is menstrual phase. This menstrual phase completed between 2 to 5 days. ये 2 से 5 दिनों का ये menstrual phase होता है. दूसरा phase है that is called proliferative phase. Third one is called ovulatory phase, and fourth one is called secretory phase. So in these 4 phases, reproductive cycle in female that continue up to in 28 days is completed. So 2 to 5 days is the menstrual phase, in which all preparation that done in previous month is end with releasing the or just destruction of the blood capillaries or spongy cells in the uterine wall or the fallopian tube. Fallopian tube और uterine wall में for the welcome of the egg to provide the nutrient to them or welcome the fertilized zygote. A thin film of blood capillaries with the mucous membrane produced in the as a endoepithelial layer of the fallopian tube and in uterine wall, so that get degenerated and shed off in the form of clotted blood with the degenerated ovum. That flow continues up to 2 to 5 days, and in that the whole structure get cleaned up. This is called menstrual phase. As it occurs in repeated way, so it is called menstrual cycle. As it occurs in cyclic way after 28 days, each after 28 days in the reproductive life of the female, so this is called menstrual phase. After menstrual phase, there is a proliferative phase. This proliferative phase is help in development of a next blood capillary for another month's ovum. दूसरे मंथ के ओवम के लिए जो अब नया ओवम आने वाला है, उसके लिए फिर से एक ब्लड कैपिलरी, thin film of blood capillary and a spongy mass of the mucous membrane developed inside the endoepithelial layer of the uterus and fallopian tube. That is called proliferative phase. This proliferative phase complete up to 13 to 14th day. ये इसको 4-5 दिन तक वहां हो गया और ये 7 से 8 दिन तक ये काम लगता है. Again, जो सेट अप हुआ था, जो यहाँ से टूट के सब निकल गया था, again ये form. Then third one is called ovulatory phase. This ovulatory phase occurs between 13 to 15 or 13 to 15th day. 13वें से 14वें 15वें दिन में ovulatory phase होता है, where inside the ovary, अब देखो inside the ovary the numerous follicles are found, that is called GF. GF means Graafian follicles. Large number of Graafian follicles remain in both the ovum, both the ovary, दोनों ही ovary के अंदर large number of Graafian follicles remains. In that Graafian follicles, ovulation occurs one by one. One Graafian follicles get matured and they form ovum, and that ovum released from the Graafian follicles. When this mature Graafian follicles ruptured, जैसे ही एक Graafian follicles ruptured होता है, ovum comes out, and this is called ovulation. Formation of ovum after rupturing the Graafian follicles is called ovulation. This ovulation occurs between 13 to 15 days of reproductive cycle of 28 days. One thing more, जैसा हमने देखा कि मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम में टेस्टिस, there is a pair of testes, but sperm produced from both the testes at proper temperature, and they reach and they get mixed in a path. But in female, ovulation from the ovary occurs alternately. If in this month ovulation occurs from the left ovary, in coming month this ovary will get rest, and from the next ovary ovulation will occur. So ovulation in the female reproductive system occurs alternately. It alternate way. Ovary get chance to get mature, and the resting period is given to by the nature to this ovary. So the at 14 to 15 days the ovulation occurs, and after ovulation ovum is released. Very slowly this ovum reaches here in 1 or 2 or 3 days. 14 to 15 days तक में क्या होता है कि ovum gradually just move. In this movement, ciliary epithelial tissue of the fallopian tube help a lot, और फिर ओवम आके यहाँ पर वेट करता रहता है. That is the first. और यहाँ पर वेट करता रहता है। If in that day or a specific day where ovum is available here, that is in mid of the reproductive cycle in female, copulation occurs or male gamete get chance to reach here. ये हजारों male gamete started moving towards the female gamete ovum, and only one among the thousands of the sperm get chance to fertilize the ovum, and fertilization occurs. Fertilization in human being is called monospermy. After getting fertilized, ovum not allow the another sperm to fertilize them. So this is called monospermy. And after monosperming, ऐसा हमने आपको पहले बताया कि वो बिछना करके क्या होगा, यहाँ पर सेटल कर जाएगा, और सेटल करने के बाद if it not have occurs, अगर यहाँ से ovary wait for 2 to 3 days, if fertilization not occurs, there will be no use of that ovum, and so this ovum get degenerated. Along with that, all the preparation that completed for the welcome of the embryo or the nourishment of the ovary have no use, and so it again degenerated, and that is called last phase, and that is called secretory phase, or that is called menstrual cycle. Now, if it occurs, अगर ऐसा होता है कि fertilization हो गया, और fertilization होने के बाद then secretory phase appears, and last they started developing the embryo day by day, and after 280 days के बाद क्या होगा, that will the maturation of oxytocin hormone will release, and that oxytocin hormone will help in birth of the young one. After, as soon as oxytocin hormone released, the lactation, if there is another hormone of the pituitary gland that is called prolactin. Prolactin is already started producing since the pregnancy period, and so breast development and formation of the milk started in mammary gland. As soon as childbirth occurs, ejaculation of the milk occurs from the mammary gland, and mother started feeding to the young one, and in this way new child came in the new world that will continue the races, and in this way reproductive cycle fulfill their responsibility, and one organism just reproduce another one, and generation continue even after having the definite lifespan. Okay, so this was all about the reproductive system in male and female. Children, the things rest in the chapter is about the birth control. To see the explosive population growth in India in 1951, already a plan came by the central government to curb the population growth in the country, so that our countrymen may get proper nourishment, proper space, proper facility in all sectors. For that, a family planning system starts, and that teach to how to curb the population growth by reducing the number of child, and all that scheme that is applied in them, that is the called contraceptive methods. So we will learn about the contraceptive methods, how we can control the childbirth. So that things remains. If I will again came in the next page, next leg of the classes, then we will complete that. The one chapter you are left, that is the heredity. तो हम लोग हेरिडिटी को कंप्लीट करेंगे, and in this way your course will complete it. I hope you will continue the learning. Already the paper related to your exam is on your app or in the net, so you may have also what type of questions will be asked, that will differ from all previous years. So you also go through that, and keep yourself safe at your home. Thank you. चलो।